He asked me to find a producer to bring money, and they sent him to hell because they said there's no possibility of people giving money for Holocaust film. And for many years he's tried, and finally the Hungarian government had a fund and they gave the money. Private funding was not available.
What's the situation like today in Hungary?
Hungary has
with the Jobbik party?
Look, Hungary has the third largest Jewish population in Europe. It's 80,000.
First France,
and England, and then Hungary. Largest Jewish population. And the largest Jewish population in Eastern Europe, number one. About 80 to 100,000 Jews. Many of them are assimilated, many of them intermarried. And there's a renaissance of Hungarian culture in Hungary. At the same time, anti-Semitism. Listen, I had anti-Semitic incidents that I was involved with in Palm Springs. Okay?
But you'd think
my kid was called a dirty Jew in grammar school.
But Americans weren't sent to concentration camps like Hungarian neighbors were sent.
Well, listen, anti-Semitism has been around for 2,000 years. It's not going to go away overnight. It's ingrained. Many simple-minded, primitive people think, oh, the Jews, they own all the banks, and they're the rich guys. I know so many poor Jews, you couldn't believe it. So, these fairy tales, you know, if you spread a lie enough times, it becomes truth.
What fairy tales are you referring to?
Say that again?
What are you referring to as a fairy tale? The Holocaust stories.
No, the Jews are rich and they own all the banks and everything. Because the Holocaust is a total reality. Well, and even then, some people still deny that it's not possible. You know something? It was possible. It was very possible. And it happened. And each generation has to learn it because, you know, as the generation goes on, it's going to be relegated to Roman history, and nobody knows who Caesar was. Nobody knows who Marcus Aurelius was. And American education system is not the greatest.
How about in Europe? They're trying to get British schools and other countries.
Yes.
Trying to stop teaching the Holocaust and not to.
Some places. Not in Europe, but in England, there's a movement.
Well, because of the Muslim influence.
That's true.
Couldn't that happen in other European countries?
It can happen anywhere. Anything can happen anywhere. I lived through everything in a sense. I didn't live through World War II. My parents did. But I lived through Revolution Hungary. Anything can happen anywhere. Americans are sometimes naive to think that we're protected. We are not protected. It's BS. We're not protected. And we have to be vigilant to everything. And we have to have good leaders. It's a joke what's going on in the political process right now. The people that we have up there is a joke. And the same platitudes, I watch all the debates, whether it's Hillary or Bernie or Trump or the other guys, they all have the same platitudes. It's like show business. And American people are at fault. They allow this to happen, and most people don't vote.
What would you think that a Democrat administration would mean for the Jewish people, including Israel, for the next 8 years, 4 to 8 years?
Listen, I was a journalist. I never registered as a Democrat. I never registered as a Republican. I'm a registered independent. I don't really think it's a matter of just Democrat or Republican. I think you have to have strong people who to face everybody. And you need strong military, whether it's Democratic or, you know, sometimes you just have to fight. Sometimes you can't avoid it. I lived in Brooklyn, where you had to defend yourself. And you can't just walk away from it. It's outrageous what's happening in Syria, that we allowed 300,000 people to be murdered by Assad, and that we allow the Russians to do what they do.
Do you believe?
Israel is the only democracy in the whole area, the only one. I mean, if you're a Democrat, if you're a democratic country, why would you vilify somebody who's the only country where there is any form of democracy at all, close to what we have in the United States? No other country.
Well, so there are theories that that the Europeans are looking to assuage their guilt by making the Jews look like villains.
Listen, I'm not going to play psychiatrist. I have a saying, and then I have to go. Just because I'm paranoid, that doesn't mean that nobody's following me. Thank you.
Thank you.